Well, welcome back to Out of the Pal TV. This week we're going to look at what is new and currently on Amazon's Prime Video. Along with the new shows and movies, I'm going to also be going over some of the things that are maybe a little older, but I think are very much worth your time, and so we'll keep an eye out for them. So let's get started. There is a ton of content on Prime Video, and it can take some time digging through it. That is what I'm here for. You can easily fall into a deep dive into some obscure older shows like Alias, Dexter, and Space 1999. Okay, so you never heard of Space 1999? I get it, I'm old, but when I was just a kid, we only had like 5 TV stations to choose from, and one of those was PBS. So there was like the big 3, NBC, CBS, ABC, and one independent channel. That played like Godzilla and Tarzan movies, but at least it wasn't the Little Rascals. Well, okay. They played that too. Anyway, when Space 1999 came on, it was this new, cheaply made British TV show that was unlike anything else I had access to. So, of course, I loved its mediocre acting, stories, and semi-special effects. Hey, it did have 3-time nominated Oscar winner Martin Landau in it. I mean, this is before all that, but still, he was on there. So come on, dig that groovy theme music. I know it. And so yes, I'm highlighting it. Anyway, Space 1999. Now, let's go back to the other things that you probably will also want to watch. So, things like Alias and Dexter and many, many more. Also, here are a few highlighted movies now available on Prime. Armageddon is on here, Do the Right Thing, Apollo 13, 500 Days of Summer, Sleepless in Seattle, just to name a few, and of course the classic Mel Brooks film Young Frankenstein, and also Social Network. So, all those are currently on Amazon Prime Video. So along with all that, even just last month we got a couple of very worthy watches on Prime Video. With one was Val. It's an Amazon original documentary movie. Who is Val Kilmer? He's Batman, he's Iceman, he's Jim Morrison. And he's a lifelong filmmaker, so you get reacquainted with the movie star and catch up on a ton of personal home videos that he has made himself over the years that show his childhood, behind the scenes on film sets, when he was in acting school, even stuff today as he struggles through surviving and getting through like throat cancer. It's a really interesting and revealing documentary, very much worth your time in checking it out. Another film that just was released last month on Prime Video is The Courier. It's based on a true story. In the shadow of the Cold War, a letter from Oleg Penkovsky, an agent from the Soviet Union, received by MI6 agents, stating his concern over and about world safety and his anxiety about nuclear war. So a CIA agent reaches out to and helps recruit a British salesman, Greville Wynn, I believe his name is, played by Benedict Cumberbatch. I always have trouble with his name. Benedict Cumberbatch, to be their spy. So we have this salesman who they recruit to help them spy in the Soviet Union. So we have this Cold War semi-spy and his Russian source who try to put an end to the Cuban Missile Crisis. And once again, that's starring Benedict Cumberbatch, called The Courier. Okay, so now let's actually look at some brand new stuff for September on Prime. Already playing is Cinderella. Cinderella is a musically driven take-on of the traditional story that almost everyone probably knows. Our heroine is an ambitious young woman whose dreams are bigger than the world will allow. But with the help of her Fab G, which I assume that's her fairy godmother, she is able to persevere and make her dreams come true. So this is a musical and stars Idina Menzel, Minnie Driver, Billy Porter, and James Bondy. Not James Bond, Pierce Brosnan. So that's Cinderella. So then we have The Voyeurs, an Amazon original movie. It's about a couple who moves into this loft in downtown Montreal, and they find themselves becoming increasingly interested in the sex life of their eccentric neighbors across the street. Well, what starts out as an innocent curiosity slowly turns into an unhealthy obsession after they discover that one of these neighbors is cheating on the other. Temptation and desire causes their lives to become tangled together in unexpected ways, leading to deadly consequences. That's The Voyeurs. The next highlight is a documentary called Lou the Rich. It's also an Amazon original series, limited series. It's a docu-series about Lou LaRue. If you don't know them, they're a women's internet apparel company, mostly like yoga pants kind of stuff. I'm not completely up on it, but anyways, it's an internet apparel company that went from a fast-growing retail phenomenon to allegedly a viral multi-level marketing scam. There's a lot of lawsuits going on with that company. In real life, this is all very true. But this documentary allows you to take a look inside their clothing empire, and it's gone from an aspirational movement to a trending pyramid scheme that is now the subject of dozens of lawsuits. But really what happened, so this 4-part series now streaming kind of goes into that and gives you a lot of the history and background and what's going on with that. Even though I don't wear these clothes, I am curious about that. So check that out, Lula Rich. Next, another Amazon original movie called Everybody's Talking About Jamie. And it's inspired by true events. Everybody's talking about Jamie follows Jamie New, Max Harwood, a teenager from Sheffield who dreams of life on stage. While his classmates plan their livelihoods after they leave school, Jamie contemplates revealing his secret career ambition to become a fierce and proud drag queen. His best friend and his loving mom shower him with endless support, while local drag legend Miss Loco Chanel, actually like that name, Loco Chanel, mentors him towards his debut stage performance. But Jamie also has to contend with an unsupportive father, an uninspired careers advisor, who hasn't had those, and some ignorant school kids who attempt to rain on his parade. In rousing and colorful musical numbers, Jamie and his community inspire one another to overcome prejudice, be more accepting, and to step out into the darkness, into the spotlight. So that is Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Okay, so I'm not French, but this next film is, so my apologies, as I'm sure I'm going to butcher every one of the names here. So the movie is called Le Bal des Folles, or in English, The Mad Woman's Ball. Again, it's an Amazon original movie, and it's about a woman who is unfairly institutionalized at a Paris asylum. And I guess that it's the Salpêtrière Hospital. I know I messed that one up. Anyway, she plots to escape from this hospital with the help of one of its nurses. It's based on this novel, the same French name that I can't pronounce. I'm not going to try it again. By Victoria Moss. So check that one out. It looks pretty interesting. Again, it's the Mad Woman's Ball, or La Bal des Folles. Yeah. So this next movie is actually from 2018, but is new to Prime. Sorry to Bother You. It's an eternal reality of present-day Oakland, California. A telemarketer, Cassius Green, finds himself in a macabre universe after he discovers a magical key that leads to material glory. So as Green's career begins to take off, his friends and coworkers organize a protest against corporate oppression. But he soon falls under the spell of Steve Lift, a cocaine-snorting CEO who offers him a salary beyond his wildest dreams. And that is Sorry to Bother You. And I guess that kind of references telemarketers. Well, who cares? They're telemarketers. Sorry to bother you, yeah. Okay, finally, the last thing I'm going to highlight here is Do Re Mi. This is an Amazon original series, season 1, and this is definitely one for the kids. It is a joyful musical series starring Kristen Bell, creating an experimental world for preschoolers, entertaining and educating them through the heartwarming adventures of 3 lovable songbirds, and there's nothing wrong with that. So check that one out, especially if you have kids. I'm sure they're going to love it. It's called Do Re Mi. Okay, that's all I have for this week. Please feel free to leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next week. Thanks.